What's good, fellas? I never really liked doing this sort of thing, but it's about time I bit the bullet and started making some actual developer blogs for my game. Oh yeah, this is my game, Last Gang Standing. It's like a multiplayer base building PvP kind of thing. So yeah, this weekend I'll be working on a bunch of things. One of the main things is water. This is on the current live branch. This is the old water. As you can see, it's all right up close. In the distance, it's kind of gross, and it's just too much visual clutter, complexity compared to everything else being, flat shaded, quite simple. And yeah, when you jump into it, you just die, and it doesn't look good underneath it either. It's pretty much just like end of level hazard to stop you from getting out there. So, what I've been doing is pretty much. Don't need to see the main build anymore. I'll switch to the current developer one. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I've made a lot more cartoony, not as visually distracting, but also a lot smoother. Got little caustics things going there, and a little edge highlighting and all that. And yeah, and the best thing is, you can swim in it now. It has actual density, underwater fog and everything. It's got swimming sounds. So yeah, it opens up a bit more traversal options. You can swim around the docks, you can go up under and around the ship. I don't know, I might add some boats out there or something later. But yeah, the water in the game is now a lot better than it was before. So if you want to see how the water shader works, it's so these are your edge highlights, the little white foamy highlights around the edges. It's just a depth fade, and that's yeah, there's like a panning noise texture going over the highlights to give them this sort of you see that kind of effect. That's what this does here. You can scale it up and down. You can adjust the amount it does. Yeah, there's an if thing. So if the depth is 50 or less, it turns the highlight color. If it's deeper than that, then it just goes the usual blue. And yeah, that's the water color. This is that sort of little caustics texture I got just moving over the top to make it look a bit more watery. There's two layers of it. One that goes that way and a larger, more subtle one that sort of, yeah, you can see it sort of going to the left here. And yeah, that just sort of, yeah, you can boost the opacity. Texture 2 strength, texture 1 strength. I think that's the overall, yeah. Opacity, it's yeah, translucent shader. I don't think any of that stuff's so important. Actually, I don't know why I'm going over it, but yeah. Speaking in terms of how it works code-wise, it's reasonably simple. You can see I've got physics volumes. The actual water physics is literally just a physics volume. Like, it's one giant one I've got overlapping all this. Just yeah, just turn water volume on, and that's pretty much it. For the actual visible water, I've got this blueprint entity, just called Water BP. It just sort of handles all of the visible effects, kind of. So we want to set it like, let's see, what was it again? New River is the same as this one. You can set the size of it. It's just a plane with a two-sided material. It's a post-process, which has all the underwater stuff, and it's a collision overlap. So yeah, it's a collision overlap, which just handles effects of bullets entering it when the player splashes into it, yada yada yada. Everything sort of sets itself up in the construction script. What else have we got? Yeah, that's for when a player jumps in. It plays a splash sound and a water effect. Oh yeah, that's for damage if you want to have the water toxic or something. Just every tick it sort of gathers everyone that's in it, and yeah, it'll drown them if it's allowed to do damage. The player has a couple of functions inside it. Just very simple stuff. If we're swimming in water, add like a small upwards movement vector so you always sort of slowly float. If you hit space, it magnifies the vector so you go to the surface much faster. You can't dive. I don't want people diving because you can't build anything underwater. There's nothing to do down there. It's literally just, I just want them to be able to swim over the surface. I did have some problems with these ladders because of the way they set the movement mode. When you were climbing them previously, if you climbed off the bottom of the ladder, you would be set to walking movement mode while you're in the water, but you just fall down to the bottom, crunch on the bottom, and then swim back up. It's not really what I wanted. So, there was a... Whoops. Stop that. There was a pretty easy fix to that. I've got a... hang on, where was I? Stop climbing ladder, yeah. I got a function that just detaches you from the ladder if you're climbing it. Sort of, yeah. I won't go into how the ladders work, but all I had to add was check the player's capsule component, get overlapping afters. If we're overlapping a water BP, then set the movement mode to swimming. Now you can jump off the ladder or climb off it, and you won't. Nothing weird will happen. You'll just float off. So yeah. One of the other big things I've been working on is... Hang on, I just got to make a gang here. Test gang, call it... it doesn't really matter. Yeah. There we go. Now we can make a base. Oh yeah, I added these drones. Before the buildings would just build themselves out of thin air, which was a bit weird, so yeah, now there's actual drones that fly around and physically build them. Just makes it feel a little bit more grounded. We need lots and lots of power. There's a couple of gardens, why not? This is what I've been working on. There's 3 factory structures that you basically, yeah, you want to go around the world, find resource nodes, use these harvesters to gather them. This harvester stuff's already in the base game, but these are not yet. So, what you want to happen is you sort of see on the bottom left there, I've got my resources. They're all 999 because I'm in testing mode, but yeah, these basically convert your base resources that you're fighting over to, yeah, gathering from the map. Converts them into more advanced resources, which are going to be used for actual game progression. So let's just build a couple more of these. It's going to be hard to keep this many factories going in the game, by the way, because yeah, you need a lot of income to keep this stuff going. Control panels, you can set it to only finish the current cycle if you want it to stop after that, so you don't run out of stuff. See, welds little circuits there. They've all got their own specific animations. See, that's like a smelter. Smelts a bunch of metal. That's like a makes radioactive, like exotic materials. I don't know what they're for. They're space magic, but yeah. Yeah, the delivery cycle is about to begin, but you don't have a launch pad. That's where the last segment of this comes into play. Let me just wait until it actually finishes first. You can see on the bottom left there, there's you can see my advanced resources and a timer. I've made it go super fast for testing, but every half an hour or so in game, it'll everything that you've made will be... Hang on. I don't know what he's doing, that's bugged. Yeah, everything that you've made will be delivered to a dropship in this crate. So you want to make as much of this advanced stuff as you can while defending your base, and yeah, delivering it, and then use those deliveries to buy like just blueprints for more stuff, more structures, more guns, more mods. So yeah, there's going to be an actual progression, which there isn't in the game at the minute, because you know it's still really early access. It's, you know how it is. These things take time. Oh yeah, anyone who has played my game already will know how absolutely awful the current gun storage structures are. So I replaced it. It was a cupboard before, with an interface you go into, and it was really laggy, it was buggy, and it was just not good. Oh, yeah, putting that aside for a second. We're about to launch. In about, it's randomized like 10 to 30 seconds or so after the delivery cycle ends. Any minute now. There we go. And off he goes. Normally there's a visual of, like, it shows all the little crates inside that thing, like sub-crates inside that big one, but I haven't hooked that up yet. It will be in the final. There goes, dropship picks it up. I don't know why it falls out of sync sometimes, it just sort of does it randomly. But yeah, I delivered 12 of everything. That's quite a lot of advanced resources. So yeah, and it'll just keep going in a cycle. So when you're you'll probably start feeling more heat from other players when the cycle's close to the end, because people want to raid your base and blow it up and steal all the stuff you made so that they can deliver a ton more to their base and get a ton of, like, just extra free stuff. So yeah, it's going to get pretty chaotic. But also, back to the other thing I was saying, this gun storage. You can stick guns in it physically. Well, I should have actually built some more guns, to be honest. Whatever, let's just crank a bunch of stuff out. But yeah, it shows the gun skin, it shows all the mods that are on it. This SMG is new as well. It's not in the base game yet. It's about to be, the next update. Very, not very accurate at long range, but very strong and close. Just shreds people pretty much. There's also a new NPC hostility bar at the bottom left that, haven't seen any NPCs yet. Where are they? They should be raiding me by now. Maybe their base is too far away. They normally, normally there's NPCs that raid you as well as other players. And, yeah, just for something extra to do. Plus, they're the only source of, fissiles at the minute. All the other three, basic resources you can get from... Oh, there they are. Don't know why they're there. What's that pathfinding? Right. That hurts. Trying to get to that, but, yeah. Okay, one thing at a time. Yeah, these are where you normally get your resources from. Sort of. Well, I believe there's one down here. But where are you? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's been a while since I put all these in. I don't exactly remember where they all are. But yeah, each one has limited resources, and will eventually, limited resources will eventually almost deplete. Like, it'll go down to just a bare trickle. It won't completely deplete, but it will force you to keep searching for more of these, and that will put you into conflict with other players, other factions who will also want to harvest them. So yeah, I'm trying to kind of see what I'm trying to work towards here. It's still all quite early, quite rough, but yeah. Check out Last Gang Standing on Steam if you're interested. So yeah, that more or less wraps up everything I've been working on this weekend and the last couple months or so. Yeah, it's been a very long time since the last update. You know, I've got a full-time job now, so I'm working that and just working on this on the weekends and stuff. Someday maybe I'll make enough money off it to quit my day job, but until then I've just got to stay on that grind and keep going. So, yeah, keep tuned. I should have this update out, hopefully within another month or so. I'm finished almost everything except the shop. I've never had a shop to actually, you know, those advanced resources. You need a shop to actually buy the new blueprints and stuff with, and I have not really started on that yet. So that'll be the last thing, and then I'll have the update out. So yeah, stay tuned.